WGPR Detroit HD2.
You're watching WHPS, Highland Park, Detroit. The views and opinions expressed on the following show are not necessarily the views and opinions of WHPS, its affiliates, management, or sponsors.
There's a new financial empowerment center located in the Wayne County Treasurer's Office on the 5th floor of 400 Monroe in Detroit.
If you or someone you know needs help with their finances, budgeting, and making monthly payments, the Detroit Financial Empowerment Center can help.
Wayne Metro Community Action Agency has counselors ready to provide free one-on-one counseling to help you address issues related to utility bills, taxes, and other financial matters. We can also help you improve your credit score.
Well, good morning. This is Friday, and if you were looking for the weekly broadcast of Ask Welfare Rights, you've been successful once again. My name is Maureen Taylor. I work with the Michigan Welfare Rights Organization, and just happy that you're able to find us and tune us in. We're trying to do some things to improve our viewership during this hour on Friday mornings, and hopefully we can open up a few more avenues where folks can contact us and call us directly online during these next few weeks, these next few months. We're going to try to make that effort. And before we go any further, you're going to get an official good morning welcome from the national chair of the National Welfare Rights Union, Marion Kramer. So, Marion, if you will say good morning and hello.
Good morning. Like always, we're happy to be here with you. And please remind you to, we got a lot of stuff here. Maureen have been sitting at our job as well as at Welfare Rights and everybody and trying to get this information. And it's not easy to do so. You should call in again at 313. No, I can't even.
You see on the bottom of the screen?
I just thought about it. Please, 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 when you call in, have a pencil, have an ink pen, or something where you can keep that better than I do. Okay, you see all the numbers down there that you have the opportunity to look at and be able to call in. You can, I don't think I need to say it today. We can go on and go forward because, we start just a little late, but we want to be able to talk to you today. Just don't look at us. Talk to us. All right. Thank you, Maureen.
All right. The website, www.tv33whpr.com. And what Marion sometimes she overlooks is that some people are on the phone and may not be looking at the screen. So in case that's the case, 313-868-4336, 313-868-0351, or 313-868-0342. All right. Mary, a couple of things I got from the Racial Task Force on COVID. And here's a study that was done by a group called the COVID Recovery Surveillance Study. And this is a public health survey done to look and see what happens with folks that have had COVID and they're recovering. And when Chris Cuomo, CNN, was on TV, he started the phrase, or he didn't start it, but he shared this phrase called long haulers and started telling us about long haulers and what was that. People that had been sick with COVID 10 days a week, however long it took them, then they started to recover. And then they started to notice that there were physical and sometimes cognitive memory issues that happen as a result of COVID. So we've known for a long time that this kind of circumstance, this COVID is new. And this particular COVID-19 is very new. And these medical doctors and science are always researching to look and see what are the after effects. Because none of us have ever seen anything like this before. And just a few what they call key takeaways. After a COVID-19 illness, 27%, so that's just about 1 out of 4, of all those who responded between October 1st and November the 15th, so over a period of 45 days, they all indicated that they had some kind of ongoing disability compared to before they got sick. They start talking about difficulty in walking and climbing stairs, difficulty in trying to concentrate on an issue, trying to remember things, making decisions, getting up first thing in the morning with a degree of blindness when you first wake up, difficulty in seeing things up front, blurred vision, or multiples of these things, not just one, but maybe 2 or 3 or 4 of these things happening all at one time. The interesting part of this report, and I don't know, what's the rationale for this, but women, non-Hispanic white women with households of $75,000 or more had a higher incidence of functional disability than anyone else. So why would wealthy women have more of a circumstance of being almost blinded when they first get up in the morning, memory's not working at all? Why? So, no answer for that yet. Where's the other one? 30% of black respondents reported having mobility difficulties. So standing up, getting up out the chair and getting ready to walk someplace, you get up out of the chair, then it takes you a couple of minutes to get your balance. That's what was responded by overwhelming, 30% of African Americans who were trying to recover. Respondents who were obese, overweight, had a higher incidence of walking, remembering, and concentrating.
That's me.
So, no, it said obese.
Oh, obese.
Yeah. So if you were slightly overweight, you had problems trying to recover. And, the difficulty in trying to concentrate after you've been sick. And what that indicates is that there are heart problems that are involved, but there are also brain issues that are involved when you're trying to recover from COVID. So I'm going to read a couple of more of these things. And this, again, is over a period of 45 days. Folks that we knew were diagnosed with COVID, and these are the issues that they were talking about. Caller, you've been very patient. You're the first caller of the morning. Good morning, and welcome to Ask Welfare Rights. Caller, you're on the air.
Good morning. Happy New Year, ladies.
And good morning and Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. Thank you for taking my call. Yeah, I wanted to, if I could make a brief announcement.
Please go right ahead.
Okay. On January 20th of this year, a person, Stephen Shelby, was found shot several times, rolled up in carpet, and dumped in a abandoned building on Inverness and Pilgrim.
Now, is that the young man that came up to start a new life from down south?
That is he.
Okay.
That is he. 41-year-old young man has no family, no friends, no one here in Detroit, but he chose Detroit. He has 14 brothers and sisters. His mother and father are alive, and they are shell-shocked, and we know about this because a realtor went inside looking to purchase the building. That's how we know. Well, nevertheless, and we did a little vigil, but as I talk to people about it, people say to me, black folks, why the you-know-what he come to Detroit to start a new life? Well, it seems to me that's part of the problem right there, that we think that way. We want people to move to Detroit and do well, and we want people who live in Detroit, legacy Detroiters, to do well and to be safe. But nevertheless, Wednesday at 12 noon, we're going back to Inverness and Pilgrim. We're going to pray. We're going to briefly rally, but we're going to hit the doors with the Crime Stoppers reward flyers. We care. All life matters.
Yes.
All life is precious and sacred. Human, animal, plant, insect, white, blue, Hispanic, Jewish, but especially considering 400 plus years, black lives matter.
Yes,
and black lives must not only matter and that cause be taken to the police or to white society, but we must tell each other that black lives matter. So I'm putting out, again, the call for some support. Anybody who can come, even if they can't stay, this Wednesday, 12 p.m., Inverness and Pilgrim. His name is Stephen Shelby. And his life matters. I don't know him, and really, I don't know none of these people. But that's not the point. It's about love, and it's about safety and security and prosperity for all of God's children. And we got to make sure it includes us. We must not only tell the power structure, we must not only tell police, but we must tell El Negro that black lives matter. From Amir Locke to Kunta Kinte to if the perpetrator is black, black lives matter.
I know the voice, and let me just say to you, must have been one day last week. You know, I'm a social worker at a school, and was walking through the hallway and saw this freshman, 9th grader, and a little dark-skinned little girl, and she had nappy hair like mine. And I walked up to her, and I said, you look so happy today. How are you? She said, I'm all right. And I said, well, you know what kind of hair you have? That's why I stopped to say something about the kind of hair you have. She said, yeah, I know. I got bad hair. It stunned me. So I said, well, wait a minute. Look at my hair. My hair is just like yours. Oh, I said, God doesn't make bad hair.
That's right.
It's all good hair, but that's what she said. So she's already got this indoctrination there, Reverend. And the indoctrination says that it's something the matter with her hair. It didn't take her a second to say bad. When we talk about Black Lives Matter, certainly all lives matter. This morning I watched a young man that worked for FedEx. I think it was FedEx in Mississippi, delivering packages. And his first name is Demarion. I think his last name was Gibson. I don't know if you've seen the story yet, because it's just breaking. And a white guy and his son looked at him and felt like he might have been up to no good and started to chase him in their car, and he's in the FedEx truck. And he understood the condition that was going on at that moment. So he got back in the car and he started driving, and they were driving faster, got in front of him to make him stop. No good. He drove up on the sidewalk. Nope, I am not stopping, because I understand this young man, what happened to Mr. Arbery. And he went to the county line, and they turned around. And, of course, he went straight to the sheriff's department and made a complaint, called his boss. I know he was scared to death. And it took 8 days for the police in whatever city this is in Mississippi. Oh, here comes our engineer. Yeah, we all up here sniffling, going crazy. So yeah, it took time, 8 days before the sheriff's department went and got 8 days before they went and got a hold of this guy, of the two fellas that followed him, and finally arrested them. They were in jail for 3 or 4 hours, then released. And so this is a brand new Black Lives Matter story, brand new. So, Reverend, your comments are spot on. We've got this information Wednesday over on Inverness. I know the street very well, and your thinking is absolutely appropriate. Okay.
Well,
at what
thank
time?
my
You say
sister.
12 o'clock noon?
12 noon, this coming Wednesday.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
On
All
target,
right,
sir.
Thank you, Queen.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you now.
Okay, y'all be blessed.
Yeah, you as well.
Okay, bye-bye.
All righty. 868-4336, 868-0351, 868-0342. This ink pen is no good. So I have
Do you
my
have
own.
one?
Yes, I have one.
Okay, good. I got some more.
All right. So now, just want to finish up this report, Marion, about folks who are noticing activities that are plaguing them as they try to recover from COVID. And almost every one of them is the same thing. Now, we get down to this, and this is your report. I'm giving this to you. Household income seems to have a lot to do with this. If you were low income, you had symptoms of maybe having some concentration issues, maybe some mobility issues before you got sick. And the increase in those numbers after you got sick, they weren't that high. But if you were already wealthy or semi-wealthy and you ended up having COVID, your mobility issues, your cognitive issues, your concentration issues were much higher. And what that seems to indicate to me is that maybe folks were not using all of their brains before they got sick. But that's a really interesting report. After several days, they got all kind of charts and graphs here about how much worse it got. And it's this one piece right here about hypertension. You know, African Americans, Latino Americans, especially Native Americans, suffer quite a bit with high blood pressure. And some of this, I think, is hereditary. Did your mother have high blood pressure?
My
All right.
mother, my grandfather.
You have to sit up close. I know you love that chair.
Oh,
but,
yeah. My mother, my grandfather, myself, my great grandmother. I mean, all.
You
of
don't
them.
have high blood pressure, do you?
Yeah.
You have to take high blood pressure pills? Oh, well. All right. We didn't have that in my side of the family, so we don't have a hypertension issue. So I do know that there are a lot of persons of color that suffer with high blood pressure. I'm not sure if my father had high blood pressure or not, because he hid a number of the health challenges that he had. Didn't want to worry anybody and, suffering with this, that, these different kind of health challenges, and didn't say very much. And by the time we found out that he was ill, then we had to demand that he tell us some things because we wanted to learn. But high blood pressure seems to be a prevalent factor in the lives of people of color. And a caller, hold on, we'll be right with you. You remember when we were working, we had welfare rights over at the Hannon House. And they had nurses that would come in and we would get our blood pressure checked. Yeah. The whole building. And how many of the seniors that we knew had high blood pressure problems and diabetes. and it looked like it was so much of the times it was hereditary, where that was a situation that went from family to family, and how we made some decisions even back then. We gonna leave those delicious Saunders birthday cakes alone.
Oh, it was a whole lot of
You
stuff.
know, you leave some of those things alone because we were suffering. Go ahead. What do you
And
think about that? Hold on, caller.
People always want to say, "Oh, I don't want to give up this chicken and all this and all that."
Talking about
There's-
fried chicken.
Yeah, there's a thing about that. You don't have to. The doctors will tell you, look, you can eat chicken, but not the whole chicken, or the salt, and now that's what you got to look for. And you can control that high blood pressure.
Yeah.
You can walk, you can do all that. But people think, nah, I'm going to die anyway.
No, mostly it's about changing the diet. And you're
That's
so
the
right.
diet.
We have to eat more fruits and more vegetables. And fried chicken with the frying component seems to be the issue.
Mm-hmm.
And Marion, I think you about the first person that started talking to most of the members of welfare rights about grilled chicken. I don't know. After you had fried chicken, it's hard to change over. But yeah,
once you ate that,
not bad.
not bad. Why
Not
did you
bad.
eat the bone?
I never ate the bone, but my preference is always that fried chicken. But even if I'm eating some fried chicken, I try to have a salad or something like that along with it, Caller, thank you for being so patient, and thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights. Caller, you're on the air.
Oh, yeah, I love me some fried chicken wings. I like to dip them in that ranch dressing.
Oh, Lord. All of the diet stuff that hurt you. Ranch dressing. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, caller.
Caller, we want you to stay here a long time.
I'm looking at this Black Lives Matters where they purchased a $8.1 million Toronto mansion. And so now Black Lives Matter is under scrutiny because they
Black
had
Lives
already
Matter
rumored it
original
that it was
people are
started by
being looked at
lesbians.
'cause they buying
And we
mansions
constantly
and all this kind of
getting
stuff.
stories in the news saying that they're buying up real estate. Well, it's a good thing they're doing investments with that money, but what about the issues at hand of people, being knocked down and chased down and brutalized and murdered? What are we doing? Where's the money?
Caller, what I suspect is that there's somebody that has become a member of Black Lives Matter, and their purpose is to start trouble. Their purpose is to stir up a hornet's nest. Why are you doing this and why are you doing that? And for sure, I'm aware of the controversy where the folks that are involved with Black Lives Matter are being scrutinized because they're spending big money on big houses and affluent communities and all this kind of stuff. But I remember many times over the years, Colin, I ask you to comment. Leaders in different movements, black movements, Chicano movements, gay rights movements, and, women's movements. There's always somebody that says, well, what about, put their hand on their hip. Well, what about such and such and such a thing that they're doing? And it always is about some kind of personal attack. And I can recall the Purpose Prize. Is a group of folks that give honor and recognition and resources to persons who have reached 55 years of age and older. And Marion was a candidate and won a Purpose Prize a number of years ago. And we went all the way to, where did we go? San Francisco? Is that where we went? San Francisco. And Marion took 3 or 4 of us. Sanford University. Yeah. And Marion got 3 or 4 of us on the plane with her, and we went out there to get this award. And the person that was selected to make the speech and to give Marion the award was the late Sidney Poitier. Oh, yeah. And now that he's passed on, I see a number of narratives that people are writing saying ugly things about him. And I thought, oh, that's terrible. You know, a person that he got his recognition dealing with white women, and he married a white woman, and all this other kind of stuff, but not talking about the hundreds of thousands of dollars that he donated to freedom marches, and donated to Dr. Martin Luther King, and donated to Malcolm X, and donated to different schools and whatnot that didn't have books and those kinds of things. So they found a way to criticize Sidney Poitier that kicked open so many doors to let other persons of color come in and raise these fights. And so,
always, you know, when he talked to us, it was Maureen and I, and
don't matter.
You know, he was
humble
as he can be. I said, "Look here, you're gonna be the person to give me my prize. I'm quite honored."
And we got pictures and everything.
Girl,
Oh Lord,
we had a ball with that man. He was really respectful and everything with us. We enjoyed ourselves.
You know.
And then I went back the next year. They made me come back the next year.
Yeah, follow up. Mm-hmm.
And he was there.
You know, just something.
Yeah.
So, caller, I want you to comment on that. But you know, there's somebody that's stirring up some mischief in the Black Lives Matter leadership group that's causing some concern. So, go ahead, tell us what you think.
My thought is, it does appear that the negative keeps outweighing the positive, and maybe that's a way of keeping the division and keeping people lack of supporting these initiatives and organizations and movements. Also,
spot on, caller. You are 100% right. I agree.
Mm-hmm. Also, there's controversy about Biden's administration has already paid thousands in reparations to the LGBTQ communities for those who have been victims and beaten, bloodied, and murdered, and discriminated against. And then they're saying that the Biden administration is giving out crack pipes and doing these smoking kits to keep the addicts from sharing, like the needles. Now they don't want them to share the crack pipes. I'm like, come on now. Can you make this stuff up? Is it that bad?
Well, I think it is that bad. You know, now that we have all these folks that are driven to use opioids, and driven to use crack, and driven to use cocaine, and all this kind of stuff. And then the spread of communicable diseases. In Amsterdam, they have districts, red districts, where they give out cocaine pipes and needles and all that kind of stuff. And people can go to the vending machine and get what they want. And the incidence of a disease and communicable diseases and whatnot in Amsterdam is some of the lowest in the world.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Yeah, some of the lowest in the world. So that's what, 20 years? 30 years, they took a proactive approach about folks that's going to use drugs. D.L. Hughley's got a whole thing that he's talking about, the remedy for crack cocaine when it was mostly people of color. The remedy was go to jail.
Yeah.
and go to jail. That was the remedy. And now we've got white kids that are involved with taking pills and heroin coming back among white communities. Yes. Now it's being recognized as a health issue, and we have to help them because they need help. Well, now finally everybody who's involved in substance abuse is going to get some help now.
Let me say, this is a tool that this capitalists use to keep us divided. And one of the things they did to the National Welfare Rights Union years ago in the 60s was closed up the office.
Right.
It was all over the place. Poor women stealing money. Poor women don't know how to take care of no money, and people giving them money to and all this type of stuff.
Stirring up some mess.
Stirring up a bunch of stuff. But I tell you one thing, they didn't stop. They couldn't stop us from dealing with
Poor
our
women.
poor women being able to deal with the problems of the Department of Human Services that was stealing a whole lot of money, if you want to ask me, and they get paid. They get paid a lot of time to do it. So people.
Yeah, you gotta watch that when they start criticizing. What's under that
anybody
criticism?
that's doing something
Exactly.
good and all that type of stuff, you better know who the enemy is. You not
And
only know.
because you definitely need to learn how to fact check. If you don't learn how to fact check, a lot of this stuff will go past you, over your head, and you'll be upset for no reason because the stories are not so true.
Caller, as always, your opinion and your point of view is spot on. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to keep listening, and anything good news that I can share with you, I'll call you back.
All right. If you see that story about that young man in Mississippi that got chased with some folks in a truck, call us back.
Oh, yeah, because I was glad to hear that you said he got away.
He got away.
Yeah, that was good news to my ear. I was glad to hear that.
good
But,
news
yeah,
to
I'm going to
all
look it
our
up because I did hear about it.
Very good. Thank you, caller.
He shouldn't have.
All right.
None of
All right.
us should have to live like that.
Caller, you've been very patient. Thank you for waiting. And caller, you are on the air.
Grand Rising.
Grand Rising, good afternoon or good morning, caller. Don't be on speaker and let us get a Highland Park report. Go ahead.
Hi, this is Linda Wheeler with the Highland Park Report.
All right.
I've got several pieces, if you will allow me, this morning.
Go ahead.
Okay, got to pull it up. Let's see here. Where is it? Okay, right. As always, Ernest T. Ford Fieldhouse in Highland Park.
Yes,
You get your COVID testing, your vaccines, and your boosters, your Pfizer, your Moderna, and your Johnson & Johnson every Monday and Wednesday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., offering first and second doses, vaccines available for ages 5 and up, offering booster shots for the vaccines available for ages 12 and up, and free COVID testing Mondays, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m., and Friday to 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Walk-ins welcome. That's at the Ernest T. Ford Recreation Center, 10 Pickett, Highland Park. Encouraging everybody. Tell a neighbor, tell a friend, tell your uncle, tell your aunt. Please get vaccinated, get that booster. You can even go in to check out if you think you have the symptoms as well.
That's mine. Oh, we up here fighting over my ink pen. Mary trying to sneak my ink pen in her purse. Okay.
The
Thanks,
Palmer
Linda.
Park Winter Blast starts today through Sunday.
Highland Park Winter Blast.
Palmer Park Winter Blast starts today through Sunday.
Okay, now what is the Highland Park Winter Blast?
I live in
Palmer
Highland Park.
Park.
I don't know it.
Okay, now wait a minute. Highland Park Winter Blast. It starts today, which is Friday, through when?
I'm sorry. What did you say? I couldn't.
Can you hear me?
I can now.
Okay, the Highland Park Winter Blast starts today through. Marion, if you try, is that a new ink pen? All right. So it's today, Friday through Sunday.
That's the Palmer Park, the park.
Say it again, caller. It's hard to hear you. Yeah.
Palmer Park Winter Blast.
Yeah, I got that. What are the
okay.
dates? Yeah, what's the dates?
Today is, what is today, the 11th?
Yes.
Through Sunday,
Okay.
the 13th.
Friday through Sunday. And where is it occurring?
Well, I don't actually have the locations in the park, but I imagine if you're on Woodward, you will be able to see,
Okay.
what's going on.
What they
There'll
gonna
be
have
tents
there,
and
Linda?
things and, food trucks and everything,
Okay. All right. Food trucks and outside activities. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that sounds good. Now,
Are they gonna
it's
give
30.
out, are they gonna give out masses for that?
That's a good question. You know, and still have you noticed it? There are still people walking around without masks.
Oh, a whole bunch of them.
A lot of the mask mandates are being dropped. And
Right.
that's one of the things Mary and I was going to stress today. Don't let anybody tell you that you don't have to wear a mask anymore. Here, I think we should all wear our masks if we're involved with indoor activities where there are lots of people.
Right.
You know, don't fool around. You know, here comes the Super Bowl this Sunday, and you have to be vaccinated to go in that Super Bowl. They're not fooling around at all about this. Yeah, you got to be straight, which means Navarre says it's $2,500 per ticket.
Okay.
And that's on the ground floor. And so if you in a box or something that's a little bit more luxurious, it costs more. So you had to buy your tickets ahead of time, which means you had to provide your vaccination information
Very
ahead of
good.
time. So yeah, nobody fooling around with this. You don't have to wear your mask no more. So, caller, you're absolutely correct. Wear your mask. Matter of fact, I got a bag full of masks. I forgot they're in my car. I'm gonna bring them down to the, bring them inside and leave them here at the studio today.
And by the way, Marion, I've got, because we're vaccine ambassadors, I've got your mask whenever you're ready.
Okay, what, you taking me out to?
No, she said vaccine ambassadors. No, she didn't say none of that. Mary's trying to parlay this into some other things, you know. Well, all right, Madam Grand Rising.
One more announcement, if I
what
may.
else we got going on in Highland
Hold
Park?
on 1 second. Let me find it, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's see. Where are you? Just a second. I apologize for that, but I've got it in my phone. And I think I'm about to pull it up now.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a new, well, it's not a restaurant, but it's a fast food takeout. Maybe eventually it'll be a restaurant. It's called Sonny's Neck Bones, home of the neck bone grilled cheese. It's the beef, pork, and turkey. Grand opening, a temporary site for Sonny Neck Bones inside Revival Tabernacle Church.
Wait a minute. Hold on, Grand Rising.
16455 Woodward Avenue.
Hold on, Grand Rising.
February the 24th is their grand opening. I haven't tried it yet because, of course, they're not open yet. But their hours are Thursday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And they start February the 24th, 2022. I was reading some of the reviews because I think he's over there in Auburn Hills already. It's a cheese sandwich with neck bones on top of it.
It's a what?
It's a sandwich, a cheese sandwich with neck bones
A cheese
on
sandwich. You talking about the grilled cheese sandwich?
I don't know if they
with neck bones on top of it?
Uh-huh.
Miss Grand Rising, you cannot make this stuff up. You cannot make this stuff up. Mr. Engineer, you can't make this stuff up.
No, you can't.
A grilled cheese sandwich with neck bones on top?
With beef, pork, or turkey neck bones.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
And they've got, also, I looked at the menu, they got tater tots, what do you call it, neck bones tater tots, too.
No, thank you.
Well, we ain't going to say no thank you. We're going to just say, that's really interesting. Okay?
It is very interesting.
All right. Listen, it doesn't open, you said, until February the 24th, so we have 2 weeks to try to discuss this in a couple more places. So, yeah, we'll send in some folks to try it out first.
I'm going to be one of the first. I can let you know firsthand. Now, he does have a spot over there at Auburn Hills, and I was reading the reviews, and people were saying that it sounded weird, but once I tasted it, you know, it's marvelous. It's heaven.
We gonna pray on that one, Miss Grand Rising, and we gonna hope that turns into a lucrative business. Cause right now, the jury is still out. Okay,
Right.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing that delicious piece of information. And we will look forward to your call next week about this right here, Sonny's Neck Bones and whatever, a restaurant that seems to be opening. So we want to hear about that. See? All right. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
All right now.
Bye-bye.
Linda, you always bring out some good food. This time,
We don't know. Don't say nothing bad.
I'm not saying nothing bad.
The
but
jury
I'm
is still
saying,
out.
Didn't we just get through talking about certain foods we need to not over?
Let's not talk bad about them. They might be something good coming, Let's pray on it. Thank you, ma'am.
You pray for me on that.
Thank you, Miss Linda. All right. Caller, you have been very patient and you've been waiting. Thank you for calling and thank you for waiting for us. Welcome to Ask Welfare Rights. You're on the air.
Yeah, I wanted to give the information. The Palmer Park is hosting a family fun at the Winterfest. It's in partnership with the Bedrock and the City of Detroit Recreation Department. And they consist of ice skating, snowshoeing, sledding, carriage rides, food trucks, and more.
Friday,
And this
Saturday,
event
Sunday.
is family friendly and a way to get back to our city. And of course, it's a free event.
Okay.
Oh, that's nice.
And thank you for the details. Appreciate that very much.
All right, that's all I had to add to your statement.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate your checking it out for us, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you now. All right, Marion, here's some more information. And this is, I think you got this newsletter already. I've got masks over at my school. Now, again, don't let anybody tell you, callers, that you don't have to wear your mask when you're involved with large groups of people. Don't let anybody tell you that. We're still, the numbers of people being infected are going down. And the number of people that are passing away are slowly going down. But we are not out of the woods yet. Okay, we're not. So this Canadian protest is going on. Marion and I have been talking about this all morning. 95% of the truck drivers in Canada have already been vaccinated and boosted. Their numbers are much higher than ours in this country. So what you have is a small group of right-wing truck drivers, the MAGA group, Make America Great Again, Make Canada Great Again. I got privileges.
Somebody yesterday said,
Marion, you have to come up here so they can hear you.
that was the news, and I said straight up on that one. And they said, talking about that, they said that our ex-president is behind that. And I said, whoa.
Well, I don't believe that. I don't believe the ex-president is behind what's going on in the Canadian government, but I believe he's influencing them people.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so they're talking about I got rights and we got rights and we don't want any more mandates. We don't want to wear a mask. We don't want to be vaccinated. And we ought to have the right as Canadian truck drivers to drive to Detroit without being vaccinated, get out of our truck, go into the CVS and get what we want, go into the restaurant and buy what we want, and we don't have to be vaccinated and we don't want to wear a mask. We want all the restrictions lifted and we want to just do what we want to do. And we've been talking about that. That's this right wing. I got rights and I can do what I want to do, go where I want to go. You know,
That's what they say.
yeah, and it's not just in America. You can see here it jumped up in Canada, and it's all
And
over
you said that,
Germany and every place else. Caller, hold on just a
And
second.
you, when we was talking about it this morning, you were talking about the
Mask.
the head of Canada. My brain went.
Trudeau.
Trudeau, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that he even told them.
Trudeau told them today that the mounted police in Canada are being assembled.
That's right.
And there are 3 or 4 places to get into Canada. To go from Canada to America. The Ambassador Bridge is the busiest, but there's something in Manitoba.
Yeah.
There's something in Edinburgh. and where you can cross over. And these demonstrators and picketers are shutting down these access areas all across. And Trudeau said, look, this is coming to an end. The mounted police, the mounted Canadian police are getting assembled, and we're assembling them across all of these access areas. And it might take 3, 4, 5 hours, and that's how long you picketers got to make a decision on what you gonna do next, because we're coming to stop this now. So that's gonna happen today.
The opportunity to picket and do what they had done.
It's been 4 days. That's enough.
And he said it's enough.
Yeah, that's enough. That's enough. Caller, you've been so very patient. Thank you for waiting, and thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights. Caller, you are on the air.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Just wanted to.
Hey, that's that.
Go ahead.
Just wanted to say something positive about good news from the waterfront.
Go right ahead. We need to hear it. Go right
has
ahead.
Adopted a water affordability plan.
Who did?
And it too is based on what Welfare Rights had struggled for in the Detroit area. So households at 3% of, let's see, now let me read it. Let's see, low-income households at 3% of household income, and it's for all households. And if you have an annual income at or below 200% of the federal poverty level. And the same expert did the research, Robert Colton, who I know was instrumental in developing the water plan.
Roger Colton.
Welfare Rights.
Yeah, Roger Colton. That's right.
So that's some good news on the waterfront.
All right, now is this in Highland Park?
No, this one is in Baltimore.
Oh, Baltimore adopted the water affordability plan.
Yeah.
Well, that's the one
Philadelphia did it before.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
now Baltimore.
Okay, well, Miss Gracie, welfare rights over the last 10, 12 years, this thing started back in 2007. And we have sent copies of the original water affordability plan that Roger Colton put in legalese language. We've sent that to Baltimore. We've sent it to Philadelphia. We sent it to Chicago. We sent it to, where's Chili live? In Durango. We've sent that thing to about 10 or 12 places. Cleveland, I got a cousin that lives in Cleveland. We sent it to him. And about half of them have adopted a water affordability plan. And it is good to hear that Baltimore finally got their council to agree. That is great news. Okay.
But you know what I wanted to ask you? You know, they always say that Baltimore and now Philadelphia is the second city to adopt this. But what about Highland Park? Highland Park has, doesn't that count?
Highland Park has not adopted a water affordability plan, has it?
No. Not
that was the
that was in our
that was what Alice Jennings worked out.
Yes,
for residents. You cannot just shut water off. You have to you're able to make an arrangement whether or not you're behind in your water bill or not. You can make a payment plan. So what Alice Jennings did based on that settlement, which is still sort of hanging over our heads, but the suit that the Highland Park Human Rights Coalition brought against the city, that was part of the settlement.
Well, that sounds like a partial water affordability plan. I've forgotten what the language is, but the fact that Highland Park water department cannot just shut off water, that sounds like a partial water affordability plan to me. Yeah. Gracie, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds like Highland Park. In Detroit, we don't have a water affordability plan. We don't have anything. Yeah. We have the mayor saying, I will not turn your water off.
And then turns it off.
No.
He turned it off after that first time.
I'm talking about right now. There are no water shutoffs in Detroit now.
Well, that's
You know,
something to hear.
Yeah, and that was supposed to last to December the 31st, and it did. But there's no rule or resolution to say that that's a permanent fix. So,
So what's the cutoff?
There is no cutoff. You
Okay,
can
we
still
need to
pay
get that out.
$25 a month on your water bill, and it stays on. All right, Miss Gracie.
On the other news, I just wanted to remind people that there's
Quickly,
People's
quickly.
Water Board is meeting and planning for World Water Week, which is in March.
What's that?
So there's a meeting tomorrow at 2:00.
A meeting tomorrow to apply.
2:00.
Okay,
with the,
now
Detroit People's Water Board.
6 minutes. Okay. All right, now
So let me
is
let you
there
go.
is there an access number to that people can be calling or anything like that you can share?
I don't have I have a Zoom link, but I don't have. But if people are interested, they could always look up the website People's Water Board or call.
The People's Water Board
Or
event is
call.
going
Or
on.
call.
No, people can go to
At
and
the Welfare Rights Office. Get maybe Sylvia's telephone number.
Yeah,
and maybe she can send you a link.
yeah, people can just go to the People's Water Board water access meeting and push enter, and the link will pop up.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's good to hear.
Thank you, Miss Gracie, for updated news. Okay.
Well, thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Yes, ma'am. All right,
Alrighty.
dear. Thank you much.
Talk to you later.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you now. All right, caller. Looks like you will be the last caller of the day. Go right ahead, caller. Caller, you are on the air.
Okay, yeah.
Caller, are you there? All right. We're down to our last 5 minutes. And, Mary, there's a couple of things. Detroit Community Schools, it's small, and it's starting to, for a long time, it has felt like a private school, okay? Not a whole lot of external things going on there. Let me go back to this call. Caller, I'm sorry to keep you waiting, and you are on the air now, caller. You're on the air.
Hello, how are you?
Fine.
That's Miss Green Taylor. This is Brianna, Paul's friend.
All right, I hear Brianna. Who is this again?
Brianna Caprice. Paul Ocean used to come up to the
Yes.
school and used to give us a turkey.
Yes, okay.
Yes, I just wanted to call in and say that you're awesome and I appreciate you. And I really need to talk to you on a personal basis.
Call down to Welfare Rights, 313 964
Yes, ma'am.
0618.
0618.
Call
Okay,
down there and leave your name and your number. You're looking for me, and I will call you back.
I definitely will give you a call, and I appreciate you for being such a great influence on the community. And I look forward to seeing you and definitely doing some work with you in our community.
Okay, very good. Leave that message, okay?
All right, yes, ma'am.
All right, caller, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Caller, you've been very patient, and thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights. You're on the air. Caller, you there? All right, so Detroit Community Schools, sometimes people say it feels like a private school. All right, so we've got K through 12 and small class sizes, very dedicated instructional staff. And we are now accepting 4 and 4.5-year-olds under certain conditions. The attitude being is if you're potty trained and you know your colors, you need to start going to school. You need to start being able to read and multiply and whatever else. So we've got, do all those things. So I've got masks, because we still, I'm still concerned, my school is still concerned about having kids going to school together and, they can't be vaccinated under 5 years of age. And those that are over 5 years of age are reluctant to get vaccinated. So we still have our kids wearing masks. And the desks are 6 feet apart, all of those kinds of things.
That's good.
So we want to tell people, even if you don't have a child that attends my school, I have masks. And if you want a box of masks, you have to call me at Detroit Community School. Tell me you're coming to get them. I'm not delivering anything. You have to come out to Burt Road and come and get. You didn't come, and you and Carolyn didn't come and get yours yet.
Yes.
And come out there and get your box of mask and whatnot.
Remember?
Okay, all right, very good.
I understand.
No.
I understand.
You came and got a couple of boxes of masks. I'm
So
talking
you
about
have
a case.
Oh,
Okay, a case, yeah.
Okay.
All right, our engineer is saying, look, that 6 minutes that we talked about was 5 minutes ago. And that we have to hurry up and wrap this program up. So, Marion, you have 30 seconds to say goodbye.
Again,
You have
we're
to sit up here if you want people to hear
forward
it.
They hear me. We're happy that we could get here today. We hope to see you next week. And please always call the office and leave information that on the community.
Okay, and if you're interested in some help with back taxes, don't forget the MyHoff program, Michigan Housing Assistance Program, 313-324-0400, 324-0400. And the Sarah program is still paying lights and gas and that sort of thing.
And it's coming to a close.
No, not yet. 313-322-6222. 313-322-6222. Lord willing, the creek don't rise. Like Mary said, we'll be back here next Friday. Call the office if you need additional information. And as we close up every program, we want to tell you, be careful, be safe, stop that cigarette smoking, and Marion, wave your hand. Goodbye.
Bye.
There's a new financial empowerment center located in the Wayne County Treasurer's Office on the 5th floor of 400 Monroe in Detroit.
If you or someone you know needs help with their finances, budgeting, and making monthly payments, the Detroit Financial Empowerment Center can help.
Wayne Metro Community Action Agency has counselors ready to provide free one-on-one counseling to help you address issues related to utility bills, taxes, and other financial matters. We can also help you improve your credit score.